Hello guys, I'm Hesmiyu and welcome to another episode of Narcissu Side Second. This time it is chapter 14, Taboo. I have a feeling it's to do with that young girl's parents.
Here, today's lunch. I'll be going.
Just like always, with lunch in hand, I headed to the hospital. Even though it was already halfway through August, the hot days still seemed to be continuing. The lift bell rang. The 7th floor. To the nurses whose faces I had become familiar with, I lowered my head slightly in greeting. What I then saw in the hall was a number of patients. Since it was right when the morning temperature examination ended, they had probably come with a helper for a walk. Suddenly, while looking at those people with white wristbands, a thought came to me. The residents of the 7th floor, couldn't they be divided into two groups? The patients who seemed to almost have taken a philosophical view and were calm, and those who seemed to always be busy doing something.
It's fine. I'll be firmly supporting you.
Hearing a voice I recognized, I turned around and there was Chihiro-san. She was with an elderly lady in a wheelchair. Most likely, that person was Chihiro-san's assigned person.
Hey, I'll walk again later. Want to do that? Let's see. When the sun weakens a bit more, let's go out to the courtyard.
With a calm way of speaking, she turned her usual gentle face to the elderly lady.
Hey, here it Stan. What did you not think you always do? Yes, I can.
I thought she would answer that way, as she quietly joined her hands.
And lead us not into temptation.
And she offered up a prayer, a number of other words following.
Say. Satsumi-san. Do you always pray like that? Yes, because praying for someone is a good thing.
Chihiro-san answered with a usual kind expression. But at those words, I felt something that nagged at me. For someone. That was why I tried asking a direct question.
It can't be for yourself. That's...
There, her words stopped. There was no more response from her. The usual gentle face was also gone. The first time I saw the expression on Chihiro-san, a simply troubled face was looking at me. After knocking, I opened the door. Like before, Himiko-san was gazing at maps. As I'd entered the hospital room, she gave me just a brief glance, her eyes soon returning.
Is it interesting? Does it seem that way?
As I answered, I sat down next to her and gazed at the maps also. Just as I thought, this sort of activity couldn't be considered fun, but... These maps, what were they to Himiko-san, I wonder? Even the 7th floor people, who seem to have taken a philosophical on everything, perhaps they too wavered with some regrets.
If one were to give a comparison, then we are the condemned. We've been only informed that we will die, but that day, when it will come, is unknown, so we're hounded by that limited time.
They're condemned. Now that she had said it, one could almost agree. Just as I had thought, just before, on the 7th floor, there were people who were always busy. Rather, one could even think that because they knew they were dying, they were trying to be lively. Or perhaps, for people being aware of death, maybe that's the first time they were able to become aware of life.
The ones who are calm, those are probably the ones who have already prepared themselves. Or perhaps those who are pretending they have. And Himiko-san is, of course, the latter. At this age, there isn't anyone who could prepare themselves.
She declared it plainly.
If that weren't true, then I wouldn't be talking about the 10 things I want to do before dying now, would I?
Saying just that, once again Himiko-san gazed at the maps. Then she turned to me, who was gazing at the maps in the same way.
Tatsumi, your hair. It's grown long, isn't it? It might be.
Now that she mentioned it, it might have gotten a bit longer. This month, Mother hadn't cut it for me yet.
Shall I cut it for you? Huh? Come. Oni-san here will cut it for you.
At the sudden offer, I couldn't really grasp the situation, but with Himiko-san already walking ahead, I followed her. Then we came in front of the nurse station. She turned to the nurse inside.
Hey, I'd like to go up. So could you lend it to me? There's something wrong with that. Is it a haircut? Yes, there's no winter date after all.
Then, after taking something from the nurse, Himiko-san once again walked down the hall.
Tatsumi, over here.
Walking a bit, the place we finally stopped at was the end of the hall. To be correct, it was just where you got off the emergency stairs, in front of an always closed, large metal door. Up until now, I had never seen it opened. Most likely this was the entrance for the roof.
Ta-da! And here, the key comes on stage.
The heavy metal door creaked open. For a second, the world turned pure white. When my eyes adjusted, what appeared before me was strong wind from the sky, high fence. Many laundered sheets fluttered in the wind.
Today, the weather's nice, isn't it? It's perfect haircutting weather.
Looking up at the sky, Himiko-san spoke up.
This is the first time, right? Come in here. First. Well, that's normal. For hospitalized patients, it's a place they're absolutely forbidden to come after all.
That reason, even without saying, could be imagined. I found about the same height as the 7th floor ceiling. What reason put it there was simple if you thought about it.
So, shall we cut your hair? We're really going to do it? It'll be fine. Even looking like this. Oni-san here is good at it.
As she spoke, she pointed to a small bench before us.
So, first have a seat there.
And then she took out a big, clear white rubbish bag.
Next, put your head through here.
Probably cut with scissors, there was a hole just large enough to pass one's head through in the rubbish bag. When I put my head through as told, like a barbershop cover. It totally covered my body. That's either a really big bin bag or you're really small. And then, before my eyes, she made the scissors go swish swish.
Well, miss, how long will you like it? Miss? A summary short? How does that sound? Lots. Just a trim. Aha, understood.
While laughing and running through it with a brush, Himiko-san with a practiced hand then began cutting. The delightful sound strips of scissors. Just now, she seemed to be trimming the hair in the back for me. If she cuts it strangely, that'd be bad. While holding that thought, I also considered other things. She said that hospital patients couldn't come to this place. That reason even I could understand and be satisfied with. Then, unheeding of the fact that she was a resident of the 7th floor, why was it that Himiko-san could come here like this? Was it because she was a former helper, so she's entrusted?
Hey, Satsumi, what are you concerned about? Is it your own hair? Huh? Or is it something else perhaps? But there's something else. It's fine. Well, I'll answer it for you. By being a former helper and therefore being trusted, that's not the reason. Then what? See, even in these modern times, it's one of the prohibited acts for Catholics.
At first, I didn't understand what she was saying, but I soon realized suicide.
For a former Catholic, you're still trusted, aren't you? Really, it makes you want to betray the expectations on a whim and try jumping past the fence, doesn't it?
As always, Himiko-san said something where I couldn't tell if she was serious or joking. Though likely she wasn't, but just if suddenly she ran towards the fence, what would I do? Right now, I was the only one here. Somehow, while thinking only about that, I started feeling uneasy.
Okay, something like this perhaps. Alright, miss, the cutting is over. Thank you.
As I replied, I accepted the hand mirror and looked at my hair.
Ah, the bangs.
When I looked about 2 centimeters above the eyebrows, it was cut straight across. It's like a Japanese doll or a child at the Shishigo-san festival. And Shishigo-san is a day celebrating children's ages 7, 5 and 3. Why is the X4 there? Is it 4? My headphones hit my microphone. I think that is a 4.
It's cute, Satsumi. Lots. Haha, well, you were busy worrying about the other thing after all. You're a girl, so you should worry about your own hair.
At my somewhat sulking face, Himiko-san looked like she was enjoying herself even more. No matter how much you say it suits me or is cute, laughing like that, there's no persuasive force behind it. Helplessly, I gave a sigh. Then I asked about the things that I had sensed from before.
Say, this is just maybe, but are you seeing someone else in me? Quite a perceptive question. that one.
And then, when she thought a bit,
Half of it might be that. Then the remaining half, that's a secret.
this was also made a secret. It was the same with the rules from before. Once in a while, there was things that Himiko-san wouldn't talk about.
Well, shall we go back?
Putting away the scissors she used, the two of us then cleaned the space of Himiko's barbershop. Out of habit, I need to say Himiko-san. Out of habit. Then, just when I thought she was walking towards the door, we entered from. Suddenly, the feet stopped and turned around.
Ah, that's right. About that final one. I'm thinking about that it might be about time.
Where's the final thing on the list? The final one? About time? Most likely it was probably referring to what she had mentioned before, the 10 things to do before dying.
Are you planning on going somewhere again? Yes, at least. Here is no good. This height is not enough.
Not gonna climb. Not gonna climb Mount Fuji, are you? Was she saying that for jumping off, or it wasn't high enough? Those were her words as she pointed at the rooftop fence. Doubt it, because the suicide thing.
This is something you don't know, but to be honest, could be my second time. What's this about? Number of times for being admitted into the hospital. Though because I have connections, I was always here.
And then I was taught that the third time was the last, and there is no fourth.
But yeah, looks like my strength goes to its limit, you see. Sneaking out of the hospital also. I think this will be the last time. Lots. Anyway, I think coming back on the same day would be impossible. But if it's okay, come with me.
Slowly, the sky stained orange. As the burning sun sank and allowed Min Zemi switched over to Higurashi. Min Zemi are cicadas that go min, often heard in the day. Higurashi are a type often heard at dawn dusk and are said to have a mournful cry. The place I suddenly stopped at was the usual schoolyard. Not really doing anything, just standing in front of the metal bar, thinking about the thing from just before.
Oni-san, Jan, do you want to play with the bar?
Perhaps out of consideration for me being there, a child playing nearby once again spoke to me.
It's fine, don't mind me.
At that reply, even while giving me a somehow mystified look, the child once again ran back to the group of friends who were playing. Just before, Himiko-san said that returning on the same day was impossible. What we were going to do yet, and messed that up. Where we were going, she didn't know yet, but I was told to make sure to get Mother's permission. Makes sense. If it's okay, come with me.
I won't force you.
Even saying that, when you spent close to a month together and then saying that this will be the last. Again, the two of us ate today's dinner. I topped the table with the usual dishes and fried things. Looking pleased, Mother beamed at the empty lunchbox. Even during the dinner that was the same as always, I was thinking about what happened earlier.
Hey, Mother. Something the matter? I've been invited to go on a drive again. Ah, isn't that great? That Himiko-san, right? But this time, we'll be staying one night. That's fine. Doesn't matter.
Despite the possibility of what if, she easily gave her permission.
Then I make lunch for you again, okay? Thank you. Aha. I'll go do my best making them again. Oh, that's right. Today's wasn't that bad either.
Saying that, the plate she offered up was the usual chips.
That's... Oh? What's wrong? You like chips, don't you?
So naturally. Very matter of factly, Mother offered them, seeming very pleased. But on those hands wasn't a pink manicure. Instead, a slightly reddened hand happily offered the plate. With chips, all I had to do was quietly eat them. No matter how much I hated them, if I enjoyed it, it was fine. But, was this really kindness, I wonder? Suddenly, I was reminded of Himiko-san's words. Even if whoever was punishing us cannot give us a pardon, I really wanted to say, I'm sorry, to Mother, to Himiko-san. Why Himiko?
Hey, Mother.
I gathered my courage and brought things to light.
Himiko-san is someone from the 7th floor. Huh? What's the 7th floor? The hospice. She's a nurse there.
It might have been perfectly natural, but that's how she was thought of.
A patient there. What was that? The hospice's patient. Huh? The hospice's patient?
A long, very long silence. The voice of the host on a television, not as words, but as noise, rang out. In reality, it might have been a very short time, but for me, it felt unbelievably long. I thought, just maybe, never again would time move. It seemed that never again could something go back to how it was, and I was afraid. Mother started crying. Already, the smile that had been there before was gone. The hand holding the croquette was where it had stopped. Even though she had been so happy that I had made a friend, if I hadn't revealed it, even now, she would have been smiling.
Stop, Satsumi. It isn't close to that sort of person. Your mum is afraid. When I think that someday you might also wind up like that. What? I'm sorry.
As expected, I had no other words.
That isn't kindness.
Words which Himiko-san said to me. We silently ate the chips. But, putting that into action, I had been told it would be very difficult. During the last part, I've been trying to hold back a little cough. Maybe it may affect my voice a bit, but if it did, I hope it would have helped the storytelling. Next chapter is chapter 15, Half a Prayer. But that's it for this chapter, an episode. I'm Hesmiyu. Goodbye.